Hello everyone. I'm here today to make a review of a flashlight that I got recently. This here is a Sunwayman C22C, and there's what it looks like in the box. Um, what we have here is the flashlight. Pretty nice and standard lanyard, and some directions. So that there is what we call an unboxing. All right. Um, so anyways, uh, actually, sorry for my attitude. There was also, I think, some extra spare O-rings in here, but I lost those already, so I don't have them to show you. Um, I actually like this light, and I've been using it a lot. Surprisingly, it might seem a little gimmicky. It has dual lights. The main light is an XML2 1000 lumen, quoted from the manufacturer Sunwayman. Whether or not it's 1,000 exactly, I don't know, but it's pretty close. It seems fairly close, and it stacks up well against other lights that are 1,000 lumens. And then you have this side light on it, and so let me just show you what that means. We have the main light here, and then in addition to that, we have this light on the side, and that really comes in handy. And not only does it come in handy for that reason, but there's also a magnet on this particular light. It's magnetic on the tail, so if you have metal that is magnetic metal, it will stick on there. And I found myself at work like using this just when I'm working on something, and I move around a lot, and sometimes I'm doing a job and I don't feel like I'm just kind of like, if I could just see a little better, and I will stick this, turn this sucker on, and stick it on a metal fixture above me or beside me, and then I'm instantly, in work boy heaven. So that's one thing I like. And let me show you here how the magnet works. Got a sword. And so, bam, there you go. And of course, you can shove the sword in the wall and stick the flashlight on the sword. Well, anyway, no. But for example, another thing, just like if I'm working over here and I'm messing around with wires and plugging stuff in and trying to read which thing goes where, I can just stick that on there, and I'm all set to go. So it's very nice in that regard, and I've been using it in that capacity for a number of instances now. So a little bit about the interface of this light. Two things I don't like about this light, and that is, one is that you don't have memory mode when switching between emitters. So while I have memory mode, I can go from turbo down to low, and then if I turn the light off and turn it back on again, it's going to be in low mode again. If I go to turbo or medium and turn it off and wait a couple hours and turn it back on, it's still in medium mode, because that's the way I prefer to have the light set when I turn it on. But being in medium, if I switch to the side emitter and then go back to the front emitter, it goes back to turbo. So it doesn't remember for each instance of memory. It is erased when you switch between emitters. So I know what you're thinking, oh man, but actually it's not that bad, because the thing is, if I switch and start using the other emitter, then a lot of times I'm often doing something else, and by the time I get back to whatever I would do with the side emitter, then it doesn't, time has gone by, I'm not really doing the same thing anymore anyway. So I don't know, it's not all that bad, but it would have been nice to have that. And there was another thing that I was gonna say about this, but I can't remember what it was. All right, so this was my old EDC light, everyday carry light, and this here is a Nikkor EA11, and it runs off a smaller battery. So while we have the same lithium-ion technology, is a battery that will charge up to 4.2 volts. The difference is in the size of the battery. So obviously this one taking a larger battery is going to be a larger flashlight. But for the size difference of the battery, the flashlight is not that much bigger. It's actually pretty compact. And the rating of this light is 1,000 lumens, like I said, and this here is a 960 rated lumen. And I've seen reports that this flashlight is only really about 850 lumens. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I've seen it in the forums. This is the EC20 by Nikkor. So comparing, the EC20 has a rather more defined hotspot, and I think if you're trying to look and identify things in detail at a distance, 200 feet or more, or 100 feet, the Nikkor might be slightly better, and you might be able to see more. But just for standard illumination, you know, and it's not that big of a variable difference. They're pretty much the same, similar. It's a little bit more flood, so the light travels out further, and it's not as defined of a hotspot. It won't throw as far as this Nikkor light. But as far as lumens go, I think they're pretty close. And then this is a more neutral tone. The Sunwayman is a more neutral tone, and the Nikkor is a little bit cooler and bluer. So you can see colors the way that they're actually the way that they actually are is represented more truly with the Sunwayman and the neutral tone as opposed to the blue. You probably can't see that on the video, but anyways, the size of this light is good. It's smaller than this Nikkor. I was using this for a while too, and this Nikkor is close to 5 inches, where the Sunwayman is just over 4 inches. So it's smaller and it fits in your pocket better. It's a little bit wider of a light, and it's got kind of a scary looking face there. Although you took thorough precautions in the pod against my hearing you, I could see your lips move. Kind of, I don't know if anybody remembers 2001: A Space Odyssey, but Hal is what that reminds me of. So anyways, the size and dimensions of this light are good. It fits in the pocket well. It's a little bit wider and bulkier in that sense, but this light here will not, I mean, once it goes down straight in your pocket, it cannot, this light can almost sit sideways in your pocket like this. And if I have, you know, big enough pants, it will, and in a jacket pocket as well, it can kind of move where it wants to go. Whereas this one will just sit like this, rigid all the time. So I found this a much better fit, and I thought it was going to be much more uncomfortable than it actually was. But if you wear tighter pants, then this will be uncomfortable, and something like this little Nikkor EA11 will be more practical. So, anyways, what else? Oh, the one more thing is it has a little tungsten nub on there for tungsten nubbing. If you might be into that, I don't know. I think actually it's for emergency breaking of glass, and I mean I have not tested it myself. I can't tell you how well it works, but supposedly if you have this, you can strike the glass. It will break the glass. If you're stuck behind glass, then this is what you want. So that there is my EDC light, and currently it is the Sunwayman C22C. Let's see. It has 3 modes on the second emitter: high, medium, and low. It does not have, oh, that was the other thing I was going to mention. It does not have a firefly mode. So if you turn this thing on, it's going to be bright pretty much no matter what you do. The lowest mode on the main emitter is right here. And you can see that really well. If it was in firefly mode, you probably wouldn't be able to see that, make that out other than with the naked eye, not through the camera. So, you know, that's a little bit of a bummer, but it's not